Hey there, hope you guys are doing great. It is Tuesday here, and maybe some of you guys have had your Christmases, and maybe some of you are still waiting to celebrate because of the weather that we've been having. So we had back-to-back Christmases, Sunday and Monday, and it was so good to celebrate with family, and it just feels just like my heart's full after all that great quality time, and it seems like it's never enough, but hopefully you guys feel that same way too. And I'm here today with card number 7 for the month of December, and I'm bringing you a sneak peek of some new products that will be coming out in the mini catalog. I think I got my mail last Monday or Tuesday and haven't had any mail since. And so there's still holiday cards coming in, I think, and yet here I am already off to spring and such. But maybe in your mail, when you go to get it, you might see the new mini catalog coming out, and so that's where that's coming from. So look for some nice purple covers coming your way. Like I said, maybe some of you are having sketchy mail delivery because of the weather too. So yeah, I've only had like mail delivered to the end of my driveway like twice in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So so it does make for things being delayed and such too. But I have heard from some of you that your catalogs are coming, and I have heard from some of you that you are anxiously awaiting it and it hasn't arrived yet. So let me show you this. Hi there, Julie, and see if I can make this card come together for you guys. So let me put down my iPad and get my camera turned around here and show you the card the right way. So when I look at my new mini catalog cover and my card today, it doesn't feel like I should have the word December in the background, but I do. And I was having fun making wintry cards, and like today the sun is shining and it's still blustery and blowing like crazy out there, and I'm just really glad to bring some sunshine your way because putting this card together really made my day. And I will give all credit to today's creation to my friend Barb at Barb Ink. And if you guys remember me going to Vienna in November, there was 3 of us Stampin' Up! Demos that that went there together to Vienna. And so this she just posted this last night, and I was going to use this bundle. And I went, oh my goodness, I love it. I think it was just yesterday. You know how when you have big days, it feels like a week went by in one day. I think it was yesterday. But anyway, it's definitely Barb Ink. And so I thought, oh, I want to try and copy her card. I just changed up maybe a couple of small things. And otherwise, I just loved how it was. So I wanted to kind of leave it like that for you guys. Hi there, Linda. Hi, Amy. So I can't show you because of Stampin' Up's rules. I can't show you the inside of the mini catalog till it goes live. And I know some of you will be like, but I already have mine. I can see it. It's on my lap here. But if you want to turn to pages 50 and 51 out of this upcoming mini catalog, that is where the products are found for this cute bundle. It's called Playing in the Rain. And I can show you the stamp set. So 3 cute little characters. I love them all. And when I was in Vienna, we had a French demonstrator demonstrate some projects with this bundle. I loved it before she did it, loved it even more after she did it. And just a fun fact about that, all the people that did their demonstrations from different countries did their demonstrations in English. So the gal that did this, I was so impressed with her. You could tell French was her native language, and she did her demonstration in English. It was so good. Other people, their native language was German, and they did theirs in English and such. And so it was really, just they're talented people, but then to see how they can just make that happen too for us, that was just phenomenal. So there is this, and then the stamp set. And then the coordinating dies, Playing in the Rain dies, big set, guys. Look at this. How cute is that? I love that Stampin' Up! Gives us these tree stumps every once in a while. I think I have like 3 or 4 of them, and I don't complain like there's another tree stump because it's so nice when it goes with things that you want to use it with instead of trying to find it in a different set. Little sprigs of grass, clouds, a kite, butterflies, bow ties, and then the 3 characters I'm using, one, an umbrella, a fun fence, a little puddle of water, and this one is the cutout for a grouping of flowers. So really nice. And then this can make the like the kite banners too going down, or even just banners across your card too. So it's a nice big set of dies, Playing in the Rain. So we've got that. And then I'm also using an upcoming stamp that is called Hand Drawn Dots. It's a background stamp, and I think it really pops and makes this card come to life. And I think that's what really caught my eye too when I saw my friend Barb's card. I'm like, oh, I love that, how they use that background there, or how she used that background there. So it's like, oh, I'm going to do that with mine too. And you guys know me, I love my designer series paper. Like 90% of my cards use designer series paper. So take note, this one does not use any designer series paper, and I still love it. Okay, so let me get started with my card. This is the Starry Sky. It's one of the newer in colors. So I'm just using that and some basic white to make my card happen today. So this is it for supplies. And I think what I'm going to do is just start with this piece of paper here. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to be kind of this white layer here that just sits there as a layer. So I thought, well, let's start by stamping this cute bunny on that. So I'm just going to open up my Memento black ink pad. Not that this stamp is huge, but when they're a little bit larger, I do like to flip them over so that I can see that I'm getting my black ink all the way on it. And then I'm just going to center that like so in there, and then run that through my cut and emboss machine. Just one quick pass to make today's card, not lots of putsy die cuts to put together. So like, I don't know if you're like me, I have a friend Pam, she could do putsy die cutting and assembling all day long, every day. I have to be in the mood, and when I am in the mood, it's fun. Kind of reminds me of growing up in those like, color forms were they? We had all those little pieces and stuck them together, and that was kind of fun. If you grew up in the 70s and 80s like I did, Gen X. All right, so we've got that. At first I was like, oh, there's my puddle. Well, I'll just hand cut that. So I thought it was kind of fun that, well, first I didn't think it was so fun. I'm like, I want that puddle to cut out with my die cut there. But then I thought it was kind of fun that they left it separate, because sometimes there's something to do with puddles and rain that make people feel like, okay, it's a bad day because, you know, it's gloomy or somebody rained on your parade or something like that. But then when you have this cute guy that you don't have to use with a puddle that can maybe make it seem like, okay, it's going to be a gloomy day or something wrong happened, you can just cut him out. And like I said, I'm just going to fussy cut this with my scissor along here and have that be part of it. And I'm just going to line them up so that I can use them together. So it is kind of nice that this is easy to cut out, cut around. And yet it makes the bunny guy really versatile. I guess if the die cut out both, you could just clip off the puddle underneath if you didn't want that to be part of your image. Sometimes it's those little things that you can cut or add to that you don't often think about, like, oh yeah, I could just chop that off if it was connected. But not everybody just thinks like that. I know I don't always do that. So I'm going to set these two pieces aside, and then next I'm going to work on my background here. And I cut this 3.75 by 5, and this is in the Starry Sky color. And this is where I'm bringing over the hand-drawn dots. And that's in the mini catalog. Like I said, I can't show you the inside, but maybe I can point you to the right page number, and that is on page 28. So if you have the mini catalog, it's on page 28. So this I'm just going to flip over and open up my Starry Sky ink pad, like so. I'm just going to ink this up like so. I didn't have to worry about getting around the edges too carefully, because this will just lay in the center here. And then I've got one of my blocks. It's a G block. I'm just going to use that to press that down, so that way I don't get all the extra ink on my fingers. It just goes on here instead, if you can see that. So that's a tip that I love to pass along. And then this just is going to get laid off to the side. And then we have that fun background right there, just like so. So now I can go ahead and tape this down to my basic white, so that I've stamped and cut out. Now that's just going to get covered up, so it's a great way to save some cardstock and some bulk in your card. And now this is also ready to get taped down to the card base. So my white, like I said, is 4 by 5 1/4. My Starry Sky 3.75 by 5. So I'm just going down in 1/4 inch increments. And my card today on my Starry Sky base is opening up this way, like so, kind of the long, narrow way, like that. And so next I can start coloring my cute little guy here. And I know my coloring friend Pam, she thinks like I'm extra special in my coloring talent. I don't know. I think it's the blends. I don't think it's me. I think the blends really make this come together really quick and easy. I'm going to start with the Starry Sky just to coordinate with what I'm working with my cardstock. And I'll start with the dark and just kind of outline my puddle here in that color. Just kind of go around like so. And then just go over where the Stampin' Up! Artist kind of sketched a couple of those extra lines in there to give it depth and such. And I'm just going to fill in with the light Starry Sky, like so, to fill in the rest of the puddle and give that some depth, like so. So it doesn't take much for these fantastic markers to really do its thing. I'm just going to kind of highlight the little extra droplets of water. And then next I'm going to go with Daffodil Delight. And with this one too, I'm going to start with my darker first and just kind of do the outline. Like, doesn't this make you just wish that you were a kid again and had one of those bright yellow coats? One year, my middle son, he was like 2nd grade. I bought him a bright yellow winter coat, and he looks so fluffy with his chubby cheeks, and he has this great dark skin coloring that just made him just like pop with this. And it's like one of my favorite coats. And I could always pick him out like in line when he was outside somewhere doing something with friends at that age because of his bright yellow coat, and it kind of reminds me of that. Hi, Fran. So that's all colored in, and then I'm just going to follow up with the Polish Pink next. And so I've got the dark and the light there too. And my friend Barb, that I'm getting this idea from, she did hers kind of in red, and it looked like maybe Sweet Sorbet. And I think, you know, that would be a good choice too. I like that choice for the fact I was worried maybe after I did this in pink that will it look too girly if you're sending this to a mail, you know, for a card or something. But I thought, you know what, I'm still going to go ahead with the pink. So I'm just going to go fill in with the light here and then go over those dots there. And I'm just going to leave, like, you could make your rabbit gray or brown, but I'm just going to leave it white like she does, because I think that's what really pops when you put them on the card, is leaving the rest of the bunny white like so. So let me just bring this back up a little bit more to give my workspace some area to finish assembling my card here. Whoops, there we go. So next, what I'm going to do, knowing I'm going to put, for those of you just joining in, I'm going to be adding some ribbon eventually. I'm just going to make sure that when I put my rabbit on, I kind of have it going off a little bit to allow room for that. And then to stick that on, I'm going to plop these over, add a couple mini dimensionals here, because that's about all there's room for, is a couple mini dimensionals on this puddle of water. And then I'm going to take and fill in with regular dimensionals parts and pieces here on this rabbit. So got about 4 on here to make the rabbit pop up like so. And then I can take and flip this over, and just going to kind of place that about here. And like I said, now it's kind of like a puzzle. So I've got this on, and like I said, I've cut this piece off, and it just fits right in there. So I'm just going to kind of snuggle that in here, right where his foot goes, underneath there, and then it's all good because that's where it should go. Like so. So we've got that popped up and all set. Now for the sentiment in the stamp set, we've got the Oh Happy Day, which just feels like that's what that guy is feeling. And I'm going to stamp that out on some basic white in the Starry Sky color. So I've got that like so, and I just had the strip of 1 inch, and so I'm going to pull over my trimmer and just cut that because it's right here. I could probably pretty easily cut this with my scissor and have that turn out pretty easily. And I'm just going to put on some adhesive like so, and then I have just a 1.5 or 1 1/4 inch strip, which happens to be when I cut my cardstock to get these 3.75 inch pieces, the 1 1/4 is kind of what is left behind. So that works out perfect to have that strip. So if you're thinking of copying my design, once you cut a couple of these off of your 8.5 by 11, this is your leftover piece. So that works out really well. So when I went to grab a piece, I'm like, oh, that's the piece that I have left over. So leftovers are good. Believe me, sometimes those are the most cherished things in my fridge by my kids after the holidays. I've still got like Rolo cheesecake in there, guys. Okay, so I've got my Oh Happy Day, and then I'm just going to take and put a couple regular dimensionals on that as well. And then that can just kind of go at an angle here like so. Must have left a little bit more white on the sides because I feel like my sample, it's a little bit more, not totally square, but a little bit more square compared to rectangle. So there you can see that's not a big deal, you know, how yours turns out. And then for my ribbon choice today, I'm going with the 2022 through 2024 in stock Baker's Twine pack. So those are that color combination of the in colors here. And I love how this white and Starry Sky Baker's Twine really pop on the card because of it being mostly, or if not all, of my cardstock choices being white and Starry Sky. Then this Baker Twine is like the perfect accessory for that. So I'm just going to wrap that around my card a couple times and grab my ribbon cutting scissors here and just kind of even that out a little bit like so. And I feel like that just adds to the card a lot. And next, adding a little bit more accessories, the Iridescent Pearls Basic Jewels. There's some that are larger and a lot more that are smaller. And so I'm just going to take, I think for this one, I like that they're all going to be small because I didn't want to really, and I think you'll see it if you receive this card from me, the background with those dots. And I didn't want to take away from so many different sizes because these hand-drawn dots are bigger and smaller. So I thought, oh, just using, you know, some of these that are smaller and using all the same size will be nice for that. So I'm just going to put a couple down there and then kind of one on top, excuse me, on top there to kind of fill in that space, and then still kind of go with the theme of the dots and just kind of adding an accessory that's white to make all those other white areas really pop and seem to coordinate. Thank you, Julie. And now for the inside, I'm just going to grab another sheet of the 4 by 5 1/4 that I've cut here. And with this being Oh Happy Day, you could actually put like inside Happy Birthday or So Happy for You, like if it's a good news thing, or, you know, there's so many reasons that you could send this, or even just a note card, because believe me, I feel like if we've had this much snow in December, it's going to be a long winter. You guys might want to just send cards to check on people and lift their spirits. So leaving the inside as blank as possible, I thought was a good choice. So I'm just going to ink up in my Starry Sky this little puddle there. Hi, Tabitha. And it's just kind of a little smaller version than the puddle there on the front. So I'm just going to leave that, not color that in. And then the rest of the inside will be free from sentiments. And that way it can be used for whatever you want or need to use it for, like so. Just gonna wipe off my finger here because I got a little bit of ink on there and I don't want it to go on my card where I don't want it to go. I'm sure you guys have dealt with that. Thank you, Fran. Yeah, I thought it just turned out so cute. And so for those of you that are just joining me, this is just inspired by my friend Barb Ink that I went to Vienna with in November, and she just put this card together, and I'm like, I so have to case, which is copy and share everything. So every time you see the term case in the Stampin' Up! World, copy and share everything is what it means. So there is card number 7 for the month of December, and I'll be back tomorrow with card number 8 for you guys. And get my camera adjusted. There I am. So that will finish up my demos for the month of December. And how you can get my set of 8 cards is by ordering a minimum $75 order using my host code. You get my 8 cards for free. And if you just want my set of 8 cards, they're $25, and that includes either local delivery or mail service to get them to you. So have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.